Hello Aries, welcome to your weekly reading. We are doing a 3x2 today with another new deck, which is called the Lenormand. I'll be talking more about this in a deck review in the coming few weeks, so stay tuned for that. In the meantime, we are going to explore this deck with our readings. So welcome again Aries to your weekly. We are doing a 3x2. Let's see what is in store for you this week. Okay, Aries, here is your 3x2, and I'm just going to go over the cards in case some of them are not so clear. This is the cross. As you can see here, we've got the cross with these beautiful leaves. It is very much a flower-oriented deck. This is the roads. You see the crossroads here, and this is the coffin. I think that's clear. This is the tree, the ship, and the letter. I think these two are pretty clear. So Aries, we've got some exciting things going on this week for you. I think it mainly comes through the idea of the road and ship. These are movement cards, and it sounds like you now have the green light to move ahead with something or some projects. And I say that because we have the coffin in the middle and the cross earlier, which sounds like a waiting time, and it does have an element of having to wait, it being out of your hands a little bit. Now, looking at the first two corner cards, we have the cross and ship. This could be a very important journey that you're heading into, Aries, and it can be a physical trip, or it can be a project or some other goals that you have. But I think at this point, you could be making a decision about them. The road entry is lovely for going down a path of growth and well-being in general. You might again need to make a choice, mainly because we have the cross and the roads together, so that is a very clear message of being at a juncture. But I think you're going to be on the right track, and you're going to make the right choice for you. I can suggest, Aries, that the more peaceful choice is probably the right one because of the tree. Now in the top, we have a very clear message. We have the cross, coffin, and tree, and this is the idea of having to wait. And what are we waiting for? Well, it T-crosses with the letter through the coffin, and I think it's waiting for the news. So the news is going to come through, but you've got to, hang in there and wait for it. And what is also possible, Aries, is that you could be waiting for the right time to you yourself communicate something. So it's possible. Either you're waiting for news to come to you, or you're waiting for the right time to share something with others. In the bottom row, we have the road, letter, and ship. And again, we see this news coming in. Both movement cards bringing it into your experience, and with the ship and road definitely moving ahead. So it's pretty clear to me, Aries, that there is news that comes to you that enables you to move ahead and to make changes, pursue the path, or even travel physically if that's what you're waiting to do. Like I said, the cross and road point to choice, being at a juncture. And it can support the idea of waiting for this news to come through. We see this clearly through the coffin and letter. And then finally, we have the beautiful tree and ship, which points to growth and progress and moving ahead. Now, the tree, and I would say all of the cards in general, they're not very fast cards, but it doesn't mean that you're not going to make progress and that you're going to move ahead with your projects. So it's not about speed, it's about getting the green light to move ahead and moving forward. So these are really beautiful cards. I have to say there's a strong sense of peace and an element of well-being and patience. Now the road with the coffin and ship can suggest the end of a journey. I don't think this is the main interpretation. Because of the ship at the end of the line, I think that it's really about waiting to pick up again. And with the cross, letter, and tree, we have this wonderful news that comes through. Certainly the letter and tree point to this idea of something very beautiful working out and growing out of this news. So it's like the letter sows the seeds, and the tree, it's like it blooms into something that is very positive, and this is certainly supported with the ship. And again, the cross being this element of having to wait for the news to come through. But in another scenario, possibly Aries, you are waiting for the right time yourself to communicate that you are moving ahead with this project, or traveling, or making or pursuing the ambitions that we see through the ship and tree. So these are very beautiful cards that bring news in time, that enables you to move ahead with your projects. Now, I'm not really seeing relationship cards. The letter, of course, is about communication with others, but not so much this, this close relationship. So I think this is more about maybe your travel plans, if you're traveling physically, other projects that you're moving ahead with. And just in case it has to do with relationships, because you feel that's what's relevant for you, Aries, then the things work out as well. There is news maybe after a waiting time, and there is progress in the relationship. Again, slowness seems to be underlying the energies of your reading, Aries. So relax and allow things to come through. And when you move forward, just take your time with it. It's really about alignment and feeling good about this movement. Let me know what you make of these lovely cards, Aries. As always, I look forward to your thoughts and feedback. Very best of luck with the week. Thank you for tuning in. And until next time, take very good care of yourself. Hello, Taurus. Welcome to your weekly reading. We are doing a 3x2 with this lovely deck, the Lenormand. It's a new deck, and we'll be reviewing it in a while. For now, let's look at what is ahead for you this week. Like I said, we're doing a 3x2. Okay, Taurus, here is your 3x2, and it's looking pretty okay. It is highlighting a relationship. We have both the man and the dog figuring in the cards, and we also have the house, which can bring up relationships, often closer relationships. Now we have both the mice and the birds. I'm going to bring these up a bit closer because in this deck, it's not so clear. You've got your little mice here. It's super cute, but they're not like the main illustration, which I think they should be. And here we've got the birds, and I think that's kind of pretty clear as well. So we have the mouse and birds, and they can bring a bit of tension in this first set of corner cards. It can be a somewhat uncomfortable conversation, but I do think, Taurus, that it's worth having it because we have the bird and dog in here. So it points to a conversation. In the other corner cards, we have the house and dog, and this points to a friend, a family friend or a colleague, someone pretty close to you or close to a certain environment. And it can mean a visit or getting together with this person. So that is in focus for you this week, Taurus, where it's about a relationship. And who this person is flexible. It depends on your specific circumstances. Now, the mouse with the moon and dog is, again, an invitation, some kind of attraction. The mouse dampens the moon a little bit, and it suggests that there can be some tensions. So I think it's probably about ironing out these tensions, Taurus, this week, and having a conversation to clarify matters. In the bottom row, we have actually something somewhat similar. We have the man with the house, which again can suggest that element of closeness, and we have the birds, which points to a conversation. So it's very clear, Taurus, that this is about a person, and that this week you want to prioritize getting together with someone to have a conversation. The mouse with the house suggests issues and tensions within this environment. It's usually home and family, but it doesn't have to be. It could be your team on the job, or maybe a group that you're part of. And so there seems to be some tensions or issues or problems. The moon and a man without these cards would be a gentle combination that suggests a good relationship and some chemistry between you and the other person. But because of the tension that the mouse and birds add to the moon, it's a bit dampened. It's not to that extent, but it still suggests a softer energy. So you definitely want to approach someone to have that conversation. And like we said, we see this here. So I have to say that apart from the mouse being a little bit challenging, Taurus, the layout in general is neutral. It's not really showing a lot of positive energies, a lot of negative energies. And also what's interesting is that we don't see the outcome of the conversation just yet. We do see that there is a channel of communication, which in and of itself could be positive, but what comes out of this conversation, we do not really see within the cards. Still, if we looked at the diagonals here, we have an invitation to have that conversation here with the house and moon and the bird. And then with the mouse, man and dog is a more reassuring combination that suggests that there is a friendship with this person or a relationship that is maintained. So I do feel that you can overcome these issues. And I also have to say, Taurus, that the mouse is not especially dramatic. It tends to point to little issues here and there. One piece of good advice that comes from the mouse is the idea that you want to take care of things while they are small and manageable, because if you ignore them, they can grow into something more dramatic and more problematic. So it's definitely a good time to have a conversation now and to be on the same page with this person. And we see that you do this successfully. So again, you know, who this person is flexible. You let me know in the comments, Taurus, and if you were able to have that conversation, hopefully it clarified some matters. Let me know what you make of these cards. Very best of luck as always with the week. Thank you for tuning in. And until next time, take very good care of yourself. Hello Gemini, welcome to your weekly reading. We are doing a 3x2 today with another new deck. This is the Lenormand. It's a very pretty deck and I'll be reviewing it soon enough, so stay tuned for that. We're doing a 3x2 like I said. Let's deal out these lovely cards and see what is ahead for you this week. Okay, Gemini, this is a really curious 3x2, mainly because of the cross and snake at the end of the line. Now, these are challenging cards in and of themselves, but in the context of your 3x2, I'm not inclined to read them as challenging as they could be. Instead, I think this is more about you being clever and strategic about something, and also probably letting go of something that is not working for you, but letting go in a smart and clever way. So starting with the stork and snake, this is definitely a combination for change and for moving away. Gemini, the snake is a very calm card. It's a bit opposite to the stork, which is a bit more bubbly, but together there's definitely a need for change and a need for turning away. And in the other pair of corner cards, we have the birds and cross, and these are about an important conversation. But also, because of the snake, what I'm suspecting, Gemini, is that you need to wonder if a conversation is going to be helpful. So if it's going to be worth the time. If you're going to have a conversation, I think from the, you'll get a good sense of where it's heading and you'll be able to move on from it, without much expectations. So I think that is very key for the reading. Now, the stork key and cross is lovely because it points to a solution, and I think also a sense of empowerment. The cross can be a decision, an important decision that you make, and it's clear that you're going to make the right one because of the key, Gemini. So this is a week for assessment, and I certainly think that the cross and snake help with that because they are calm, they are more strategic, more calculated. So you do have an opportunity that we see through the ship with the key, but then it's like you need to plan it out better, and maybe there are some people are affected by this that you need to manage. In the bottom row, we have the birds with the ship and snake, and again, I think this is a good idea to keep some things under your hat. There is a conversation or some negotiations here with the bird and ship, but with the snake, especially at the end of the line, it's a good idea, Gemini, to keep some things under your hat and also to move ahead with your plans discreetly. So you're going to need to decide, whom you share this with and whom you don't. But I think that things are still maybe in a more planning kind of phase, even though like you're taking some action. The ship is pretty active and so is the stork, but the snake and cross really, they create a lot of weight on this. So you want to be cautious and calculating and moving forward calmly. The bird with the key and snake is lovely. I know the snake is challenging, but with the key, I really think it's a bright combination because it suggests someone who is very clever and who knows exactly what to do to get what they want. And with the bird here, you might negotiate or have a conversation with someone. But again, you want to be a bit of a charmer, Gemini, with the snake and be smart about this so that you come out with what you want. And the stork, ship, and cross is also nice. It's not positive as such, but it points to an important trip, an important project, and some empowering changes here. So this can be quite a week, I have to say, Gemini. You could be making an important decision. You could be taking some sensitive steps, and it's something important for you, and so it's about, you're managing this, and you're also keeping at least some of it under your hat. Now, I think this is more about your work, your projects. Maybe you're traveling somewhere, but I'm not really seeing relationships. We have the birds, which points to conversations and communication, but there isn't like that one-on-one or even people cards in here. So I think this is more about you, your projects, and your journeys. And it looks like you've got an opportunity here, and you're in for some success, but you want to navigate this situation carefully. Now, why? I think this comes down to your situation, your specific, setup. But you don't want to rush, and you don't want to overshare, and you also want to be clear about what you're doing, and have a good strategy. Otherwise, it looks like you're in for success and an exciting venture here. Let me know what you make of these interesting cards, Gemini. Very curious. As always, I look forward to your thoughts and feedback. Very best of luck with the week. Thank you, as always, for tuning in. And until next time, take very good care of yourself. Hello, Cancer. Welcome to your weekly reading. We are doing a 3x2 today with a new deck. This is the Lenormand. It's very pretty, and I'll be reviewing it soon enough, so stay tuned for that. So let's deal out these lovely cards and see what is ahead for you this week. Okay, Cancer, here is your 3x2, and it's looking really bright despite the whip and fox on the left-hand side. It's really nice that they're on the left-hand side, because on the right we have some very bright cards, which tells us that you're going to overcome these challenges. And we see it right from the get-go with the corner cards. The whip is a challenging card. It is actually the most challenging card of the deck, and the star is one of the brightest cards of the deck. So sometimes there is a tie, between these equally strong cards. I talk about these things in the workshops and the courses, but the order helps us here. So we have the star after the whip, which tells us that you can overcome the challenges. The fox and bear is quite a combination. It can represent a boss, a manager, or a competition, or someone who's trying to play against you. That is possible. We see this also through the whip and fox. This is a challenging pair, and it points to, usually I see it as falling for a scam, falling for a trap, or being caught in something unpleasant. But when we see the bear and star on the right-hand side, this is a beautiful message for wish fulfillment and empowerment. And the thing about the bear is that, yes, it makes everything big, so it can aggravate the fox a little bit, but with the star, it also enhances the energy of the star. So we see that on the other side of these challenges, you're able to achieve what you want and also grow and become empowered from this. The middle column is the stork and child. It is a wonderful pair for a new beginning. Classically, this is a combination that suggests pregnancy. Now, it might apply for some of you Cancers out there. Maybe you're trying to have a child or grow your family. We see here that there are challenges, but then with the bear and star, there's definitely wish fulfillment and things materializing in a really important and significant way. So these are some really nice cards that clearly help you overcome a challenge that we see earlier. The whip with the stork and bear can be a challenge. It can bring out the competitive and domineering side of the bear, but also Cancer, maybe you need to you need to stand up to this. Maybe you need to step up to the challenge. And, the bear with the whip can be a challenging pair, suggests competition, but it can also bring out in you that sense of power and empowerment. So you want to be able to confront the situation and deal with it. The fox with the child and stars is a wonderful new beginning. The fox is sometimes a card of jobs. So this can be a new job, but it could be a new chapter or turning the page on the challenge that we saw with the whip and fox. So really the order of the cards helps, well, it's everything really. It helps overcome the challenges here. So very beautiful cards. Now, like I said, the fox can be a card of jobs, but it doesn't have to be. But if it is, these are great cards for promotion, a new job. And I have to say, in this case, Cancer, maybe it comes after some job loss, possibly, or some pretty big challenges on the job front or your work life, however you work. Again, it's really nice to see the bear and star. Now, the whip with the child and bear is an important new beginning. I also think, Cancer, that you need to be willing to change. And the fox with the stork and star is another wonderful message for wishes materializing and overcoming the fox if it was challenging, but also being smart and clever to overcome this. So Cancer, these are some really exciting cards, and they clearly suggest a healing and an overcoming of a challenge. I can't say that the challenge is easy, but at the same time, the overcoming and the wishes materializing and the healing is equally strong. There is a clear focus on a new beginning, and so this can suggest a change. And I also feel, Cancer, that maybe a deep change is ahead for you. Again, the fox can be about work, but it can apply in any other context of your life. Healing is ahead, but change is required, and you need to deal with it in a more straightforward way, Cancer. So let me know what you make of these ideas. This is quite a powerful set of cards, so I really look forward to your thoughts about this, Cancer. Thank you for tuning in. As always, very best of luck with the week, and until next time, take very good care of yourself. Hello Leo, welcome to your weekly reading. We are doing a 3x2 today with another new deck. This is the Terra Lenormand, and it's a very pretty flowery deck. I'll be reviewing it as well in some time, so stay tuned for that. Let's deal out your cards and see what is ahead for you this week. Okay Leo, here is your 3x2. It's quite an interesting spread. The fish and ring stand out here. And this would be a business deal or a work deal or something financial. But the cards earlier are generally tricky, mainly because of the snake. But it seems to me if the fish and ring suggest a good contract or a good collaboration here for you, Leo, then it can mean that you were able to negotiate a good deal and that you were really clever about it. Now, the coffin and ring is usually an ending. It points to the end of a relationship, the end of a connection. And the garden and fish is very much about abundance and the workplace and the business environment. So it's possible, Leo, that you are moving from one situation to another. You're leaving one place in favor of another opportunity. The coffin with the letter and fish suggests that you are waiting for some news with regards to your finances. It can also be waiting for a contract, for paperwork to come through. And it looks like it does because we have the fish on the right-hand side. In the bottom row, we have the garden, snake, and ring. And this is where I see that you are able to negotiate in a very clever way. The snake is often a tricky card, and with relationships, it would point to someone or some relationships that are deceptive. Same idea with the garden. In fact, the garden and snake often warn of a relationship that could bite you or a trap that is waiting to come through. But I have to say, Leo, that with the top line and this idea of a contract and a deal, the bottom line takes on a slightly different suggestion here. It suggests more along the lines that you were able to negotiate your way and that you were able to get your way around a certain environment so that you can get this deal. Also, or in parallel or alternatively, Leo, it's possible that you are wiggling yourself away from a certain situation in favor for another, like we just said. The coffin and garden also suggest that this is like removing yourself from a certain environment or perhaps being absent for some time. So it can go both ways, and it can also contribute to this idea that you were waiting for this news to come through. The letter and snake can point to, can suggest a warning. So you want to make sure that you read the fine print, Leo, and this is probably what's going to help you to negotiate. So be very careful about what you are committing yourself to. And if there are items that don't really align with you, then I think you're able to negotiate them. I have to say though that the snake, that we're not really seeing the negotiating card, which is the bird, and the snake is more on the quiet side, but still it's very important to be careful and that you don't commit to something that is questionable or incomplete or not what you want it to be. And the fish and ring is the brightest combination of the 3x2, and it points to a business deal, a contract, and a good collaboration here that has a strong financial element. And also the fish and ring can sometimes point to recurrent income. So it can be your income, a salary, or this deal that seems to work out. That's why I wasn't so inclined to think of the bottom row as suggesting, removing yourself. If you are going to remove yourself from a certain environment, it's happening in parallel with something else that is materializing, because the fish and ring are very clear and they're also at the end of the line. Now, the coffin with the snake and fish is really about maneuvering this carefully, Leo. So a lot of patience here, and in order to achieve your financial goals, which I think you will. And on this note, I have to say that I like the snake with the fish because it points to someone clever and who knows what they want. The coffin and snake can again suggest an ending. So again, we're seeing these two things happening back to back or in parallel. The garden with the letter and ring is a very clear message of a contract and a collaboration. So I do think that you land on something that is strong financially, that is positive for you work-wise, materially, or in other practical areas. But in parallel, there seems to be a very sensitive or thing that you have to manage carefully, and possibly an ending as well. Now, the fish really brings up this element of work, and so I think this is more business oriented. But in case this is about a relationship, Leo, I have to say that it points to a more materialistic kind of relationship, and possibly a sexual relationship. And that could be fine if this is what you're after. I think it materializes, maybe again after some time or some ending or some absence. But there is a strong connection here. The fish is that, especially with the snake. It points to that kind of attraction in a relationship. So maybe this is what you want, and if that's the case, that it works out for you as well. So a bit of a more sensitive kind of week, but certainly with positive results, Leo. I'm really interested in your feedback about this. I wonder how it expressed for you specifically. So I would appreciate a comment or two. Thank you for tuning in. As always, very best of luck with the week. And until next time, take very good care of yourself. Hello Virgo, welcome to your weekly reading. We are doing a 3x2 today with the Lenormand. This is a new deck as well, and I'll be reviewing it soon enough, so stay tuned for that. Let's deal out these lovely cards and see what is in store for you this week. Okay, Virgo, here is your 3x2, and it's looking bright, mainly because of the key and tree, but it also seems to be focused on moves and changes. We have the stork with the ship, we have the stork with the house, and also with the tree at this diagonal. So this is really exciting. I have to say that the house and stork are the classic combination for a house move. And on top of this, we have the ship and stork. So if you're looking to move, buying, selling, doing these things, very, very positive for that. Other changes are also bright. We could also be looking at renovations, decluttering, and all of that nice activity that refreshes your environment. And it doesn't have to be related to the house. I mean, the house is typically about your home, your family, but it could be other spaces as well. Now, the key and stork is lovely for a solution and for getting the green light. So clearly this week there is activity, and you've got the motive for it. You've got what you need in order to kick off with these changes. Now, the snake and house is quiet compared to the other cards. It can point to something toxic or deceptive within a space, but I have to say, because of this, this activity around the home, the snake can mean something like plumbing, wires, electrical, and things like that. So it could be something as basic as that, and maybe you're looking to improve this and to make other changes. Now, the more likely way to read these two cards is to suggest that there's a secret, or that something is going on behind the scenes within a certain environment. But again, because of the stork and the strong action of the stork, I think you figure this out, Virgo, and it comes through to the surface. I think you're able to weed it out, actually. I think you're really smart about this, mainly because of the key and snake. So it seems to me that you're able to maneuver this. Now, the key, tree, and house is lovely because the key and tree suggests achieving a very important goal. And the house points to this space, typically home, family. So you could achieve something significant for you with regards to your home or within a group that you're part of. And I have to say, these are also great cards for overall growth and success. There is also a really good sense of foundation and building something solid. And there is a sense of growth as well that we see with the tree and house. So these are really empowering cards, actually, Leo. Now, in the bottom line, we have the snake, ship, and stork, and this clearly points to changes. You could be moving away from something or someone, and you could be going off on a venture. Now, I'm not really seeing this people element or this, toxic element that the snake usually brings with people, although we also have the snake in house. But it is possible for you, Leo. What we are seeing is that you could be making some changes, and also the snake can suggest that you keep them under your hat. So at least for some time, you are making changes that you want to be discreet about. The key and snake is great for strategy. It's great for achieving what you want, often in an indirect way. And the snake is really clever, I have to say, with the key. So this is a really nice combination, even though the snake is sometimes deceptive. With the key, it really suggests that you know exactly what you want. I also think that when it comes to deals, buying, selling, which is really possible with these cards, the snake can suggest that you negotiate in a clever way and also don't show your cards, Leo. So that's important. The tree and ship is lovely for growth and well-being. These are great cards for rewards and seeing the efforts pay off and your successes coming in. And like I said, the house and stork is the classic combination of moves and changes. So you could be buying and selling, moving homes, traveling. This is very obvious from the cards, but also you are achieving goals, you are growing, and you are building something solid. And for this, it looks like some changes are necessary, Leo, but I think you're up for them. Now, the key, ship, and house is, again, it's great for a real estate deal and other, buying, selling kind of deals. But it's also great for doing well within an environment, for domestic wishes materializing, and for overall growth. And the snake, tree, and stork is very much about using your wisdom in order to make the changes that you want to see. Again, the stork and tree can point to something like a promotion or growth or an improvement. And the snake really asks you to be wise and indirect about this. So really nice cards. I think they affect possibly your home, maybe travel, and also your overall success and your sense of well-being. People, yes, possibly people. I think in this case, they need to be managed more carefully. I think they would probably figure in your situation anyway, but I don't think they're priority. I don't think this is the focus. I think it's more about you, your growth, your sense of well-being, the positive changes, and possibly travel that you are working through this week. So lovely cards, Leo. I certainly hope you resonate with them in this way. Leave me your thoughts and comments. Let me know what you made of them. As always, I look forward to your feedback. Thank you for tuning in. Very best of luck with the week. And until next time, take very good care of yourself. Hello Libra, welcome to your weekly reading. We are doing a 3x2 with a new deck, another new deck. This is the Lenormand, and it's very pretty, and I'll be reviewing it soon enough, so stay tuned for that. Let's deal out your 3x2 and see what is in store for you this week. Okay, Libra, here is your 3x2, and I think it is a little bit tricky. I think there is a relationship that is a bit challenging to maneuver, but I think there's a general peace that is kept, but there's definitely some tension behind the scenes. We have the snake with the clouds and also with the moon. This tends to bring out a little bit the dark side of the moon, so the shadow aspects of a situation. And the flowers would be positive, but with the clouds and with the snake, it tends to suggest someone who is not really genuine. Now, the woman and moon as the first set of corner cards here suggests an invitation or some kind of attraction or a connection that is developing. But the flowers and snake is definitely a combination that suggests someone who is not genuine and someone who is pretty false to your face. So it seems to me that this is not a 100% honest relationship or honest person. In the top row, we have the clouds with the snake, which adds to this idea. So this is someone who does not have really good intentions, and I think it's important that you be aware of this, Libra. In the bottom row, it would have been a nice combination, but because of the influence of the snake and the clouds, it affects it. We have the flowers with the cross and moon, and this can point to an invitation and possibly, Libra, the need to put up with this person. I say that because the cross is a card of burdens, often, and it suggests this idea of having to do something. So it weighs a little bit on the shoulders. And so it's possible that this is someone whom you have to deal with and you have to be nice to. And I think the snake here can be helpful because it is a card that helps you manage things in an indirect way. Now the flowers and with the woman here, it would have suggested a nice relationship, but I think because we're seeing it in the earlier part of the 3x2, it points to initial hopes. And then with time, or maybe within the week, Libra, you're able to see that it's not what you thought it was. You know, this person is not as honest or as nice as you thought she would be. The clouds and cross points to decisions here, and also I think challenges. Maybe you know this is something that weighs on your mind, that you're thinking about. And the snake and moon is very much about this roundabout way and this element of deception, and also this idea of having to be indirect with this person. So the cards are pretty clear across all the combinations, even with the diagonals. So we have the flowers with the clouds and moon, and I think this dampens the initial enthusiasm or optimism that you thought this person would inspire, and the clouds and moon brings out this dark side of the moon. So again, this shadow aspect. And the woman cross and snake is similar to what we said. There is the challenging snake with the cross. This is someone who is pretty difficult and who is not honest or, you know, not genuine. So I think you need to make some decision about this. But I think the decision you end up making, Libra, is that you pull back a little bit. You don't rock the boat. You keep it to yourself, and you manage this person discreetly. So a little bit challenging with regards to a relationship this week. Now, I have to say that the relationship can happen in any context of your life. I'm not seeing romantic cards, so I don't think it's that. In case this is about a relationship, as in a personal relationship, the cards can suggest a love triangle. So this can be someone who is interfering in your relationship, or there is a triangle somewhere. But the relationship can be in another context. It could be work related, for example, where there's a difficult colleague or a difficult customer and things like that. Or in another situation where this person, where you go through the same dynamics with this person. So a little bit of a challenging week, not outwardly challenging, I have to say, Libra. It's more calm and quiet, but there's definitely some issues with this person that you become aware of, and that cause you to be more careful around them. So just be aware as much as possible, and I would say manage this situation calmly. Let me know what you make of this, Libra. I look forward to your feedback on this, if you resonated with this, who this person was, what the issue is with them. Your perspective is always interesting to read, so thanks for that. And thank you for tuning in. Very best of luck with the week, and until next time, take very good care of yourself. Hello Scorpio, welcome to your weekly reading. We are doing a 3x2 today with this new deck, the Lenormand. It's a very pretty deck, and I'll be reviewing it soon, so stay tuned. And like I said, we're doing a 3x2. Let's see what is in store for you this week. Okay, Scorpio, here is your 3x2. It's looking very bright. We have both the clover and sun, and in the middle, and these are two very bright cards. It's all around happiness and wish fulfillment. We also have the woman. The woman represents a person, and it looks like there's a conversation with this person. But obviously with these beautiful cards, it points to a lovely relationship here. We don't really see what area of life this is happening in. The cards are flexible in the sense of whether this is personal, work-related, financial, or any of these areas. Instead, it's quite flexible. Now, the road and clover, the road and woman points to maybe a woman who travels, or perhaps you travel to see her. And it's interesting that we have this message because we also have the anchor. And the road and anchor suggests arriving. So maybe this woman travels, or maybe you're able to get to her, or there's a get-together, whichever way it materializes, but there's definitely a connection here. The anchor and bird is lovely for a conversation and a get-together, and also for an agreement of sorts. So this is positive for a relationship. It's also possible that there was travel. I have to say the birds is sometimes a card of travel. It tends to be shorter term travel or quicker travel, but with the road, maybe this is what's happening. Now, the road with the clover and bird is a lovely conversation. It's also a lovely opportunity to have a conversation. That's because we have the road and clover. So there is here something that materializes, and there is an element of coming together, which enables communication. The anchor with the sun and woman, I think this is a pretty clear line. It points to success, all around success, and it points to a lovely connection with this person. Wishes materialize, and the connection is great. Maybe she's someone who helps you with your affairs, or maybe the relationship itself is successful and lovely. Like I said, the road and anchor is about arriving. The clover and sun is a very bright combination that brings wish fulfillment. And the birds and woman bring a conversation. Now, without these cards, this would be a more or less neutral card, sometimes even a bit challenging because the bird has an anxious aspect. But with these lovely cards, it's pretty clear that you are in touch with this person and there is communication. And I also think a sense of warmth throughout the layout that affects this relationship in a positive way. The anchor, clover, and woman is very similar, and the road, sun, and birds as well. So again, there seems to be a get-together or being in touch with this person, and there's a lovely connection that ensues. And like I said at the outset, Scorpio, the cards are flexible in the sense that they don't tell us in what area this is happening. We have relationships at work, at home, in our personal life, elsewhere, so it's flexible in this sense. But there's definitely a connection with someone that proves to be really supportive, and a lovely sense of communication and conversation that comes through with this person. If this means you need to travel or maybe take, meet her halfway, then I would say do so, Scorpio, because it's a lovely connection and you could have a really good vibe going here. So let me know what you make of these ideas. Let me know who this person was for you, Scorpio. As always, I look forward to your feedback. Thank you for tuning in. Very best of luck with the week. And until next time, take very good care of yourself. Hello Sagittarius, welcome to your weekly reading. We are doing a 3x2 today with another new deck. This is the Lenormand. It's so pretty. We'll be reviewing it soon enough, so stay tuned for that. And we're doing a 3x2. Let's deal out these very pretty cards and see what is in store for you this week. Okay, Sagittarius, here is your 3x2, and it's kind of clear overall what it's saying, and it tells me that you need to get out of a situation, and it's probably related to your money, your finances, your work, your business, usually the more practical, tangible areas of your life. We have some very clear cards about this, Sagittarius. We have the scythe, the snake, and the coffin, and all of these combinations are going to suggest that you need to get out of something. And the key, which is a very bright card and a card of solutions and success, is very helpful here because it tells us that you would be doing the right thing to get out of this. The key and cross is a tough decision. This is an important decision as well, so you want to pay attention to this. I also think, Sagittarius, that you don't want to postpone dealing with this. It might be a bit annoying, it might be weighing on you, but it's definitely the time to do this. The scythe and fish is also a card of separations because of the scythe, and with the fish it can be in relation to your money. Now in some contexts it can point to a breakthrough, but I think with the broader context here, Sagittarius, it's pretty clear that you need to get out of something that is affecting you financially, tying you down, or maybe affecting other areas of your life, usually in a practical way. I also think this is a really good combination to suggest cutting losses, cutting your budget, and avoiding expenses. So get out of some expenses or certain situations that are affecting your practical life, your financial life in a negative way, probably. The key with the snake and fish is really good, actually, with money. I know the snake can be challenging, and it normally is, but with the key on the one hand and the fish on the other, it is a very good card for being smart and clever. I think it's also important that you be a little bit selfish about your money, your resources, your time, and the practical side of your life. It's important that you cut your losses and that you pull back a little bit, Sagittarius. The bottom line, very clear. We have the scythe and coffin. This is as much of an ending as it gets. And with the cross, it is very important that you do this at this stage, Sagittarius, and not postpone. It might be difficult, but you have to cut your losses. You have to get out of this, and you have to make this change. The key with the scythe is a breakthrough, and the snake with the coffin is also a moving away. And the fish and cross is about your financial responsibilities and some financial decisions. So it's very clear, Sagittarius, that you need to probably even radically make changes to the financial, practical work business picture. It seems that you need to cut some losses, you need to reduce expenses, cut the budget, and get out of any restrictions or situations that are affecting you. We have like a combination of how swiftly and how sharply you do this. The snake is usually a bit more discreet. The scythe is much louder and much sharper. So it might be a combination of the two. It might depend, or you might adjust, your approach. The scythe with the snake and cross is definitely a challenge here. Usually the snake with the scythe points to the bite of the snake, and with the cross it can be painful. So you need to use this. If this is happening for you in this way, Sagittarius, you need to use this opportunity as an opportunity to cut losses and avoid being bitten again. So pull back, remove what is affecting you, and be more strict about your boundaries. We have the key, coffin, and fish. I think this is a waiting time that comes to an end. You could also be waiting for income to come through. And you want to, I think, generally improve the picture of your finances or your practical life in general. So cut your losses, wait till the money comes in, and be more disciplined in this regard. Now, I do think it's mainly about your work, your money, your business, the more practical side because of the fish. I'm not seeing other themes at all. Not relationships, not home, family. It seems to be really focused on the practical side of things. So again, Sagittarius, you need to get out of unhealthy situations that are affecting your resources. You need to cut losses. You need to make changes, and you need to be more disciplined. And if it means waiting a while longer for the money to come in or the opportunity to come in, then definitely do that. But we are seeing an ending. We are seeing separations here. So quite a spread, I have to say. I certainly look forward to your thoughts about this, Sagittarius. Let me know how they played out for you exactly. And very best of luck with the week. I think it's a really good thing to be so clear and sharp about things. I think that's a gift, and hopefully you will turn it to your advantage. Let me know in all cases, Sagittarius. Thank you for tuning in. Very best of luck with the week. And until next time, take very good care of yourself. Hello Capricorn, welcome to your weekly reading. We are doing a 3x2 today with another new deck. This is the Lenormand, and I'll also be reviewing it, so stay tuned for that. Let's deal out your cards and see what is in store for you this week. Okay, Capricorn, here is your 3x2, and it's looking generally positive, mainly because of the lovely flowers. We do have the mouse, which can be a bit of a challenge. It brings a little tension, little issues here and there. It's not usually a big deal. Unless you ignore it, then it can grow into something bigger. Now, the flowers and garden is lovely for get together. It can be about a party. It can be about a celebration. The garden suggests a place that brings together a community or any environment really, but with the flowers, it brings happy times. Now, the woman and mouse can suggest some challenges with a person. Who this person is very flexible, but usually the man and woman, they represent people you are closer to. And with the mouse, there can be issues of trust or other kinds of issues that come up between you and this person. It's also possible, Capricorn, that this person has problems, and maybe you are there to support and to help out. The flowers with the stork and mouse is a little bit challenging also, Capricorn, because we see the mouse after the flowers. So if it was the other way around, we would have suggested that the flowers helps overcome some challenges. But in this order, there can be issues that come up that sort of dampen a little bit the enthusiasm of the flowers. Again, the mouse is not very dramatic, so it's not going to be a huge deal, but it is often a card that calls your attention to the details. details. So pay attention to the details and take care of things while you can. The woman with the heart and garden is actually lovely for a close relationship. These are some good feelings, good vibes, and it can be a love relationship, Capricorn, but there's definitely a really good connection here with this person in whatever context is relevant to you. Same with the flowers and woman. These are really bright cards for a relationship. They're also cards of fun and happiness. So again, there can be a call to celebrate something this week. The Stork and Heart is also great for love and relationships. So this could be attraction, a crush, or happy feelings and positive changes as well. Like we said, the Mouse and Garden can represent a bit of tension or a bit of an issue with this situation or with this person, and it is on the right hand side of the 3x2, so it can be something that happens a bit later on in the week, or it can be something that happens after these happy things here. Again, it is a bit of an issue that you need to focus on, but it's not a huge deal. The Mouse is not a big deal. But again, the Mouse just calls on you to pay attention to things while you can, so that you can resolve them while they're small. So I think these are nice cards overall, Capricorn. They bring positive changes, celebrations, and good times with people. Maybe an issue comes up, but again, it's something you're going to deal with, and you ought to while you can. The flowers with the heart and mouse is similar. Again, it can bring in some doubts or a bit of a heartache here. Heartache is really a bit too much, but with the mouse and heart, there can be some doubts that come up. The woman, stork, and garden suggests meetings and get-togethers and activity with this person and with others. So again, it seems to be focused on a person, Capricorn, and it looks to be generally bright. There could be a little issue that comes up and that you're going to deal with. And it could be in your personal life or at work or in some other context in your life. That is flexible, and we don't really see at all. Actually, we don't at all see in the cards what area this figures in. So let me know what you make of these ideas, Capricorn. Let me know who this person is and what the issue was. As always, I look forward to your thoughts and feedback. Thank you for tuning in. Very best of luck with the week. And until next time, take very good care of yourself. Hello Aquarius, welcome to your weekly reading. We are doing a 3x2 today with another new deck. This is the Lenormand, and it's a very pretty deck. I'll be reviewing it as well in the coming few weeks, so stay tuned for that. Let's deal out these cards, these very pretty cards, and see what is in store for you this week. Okay, Aquarius, here is your 3x2, and it's looking pretty mainly because of the lovely clover, but we also have the clouds, which can be a bit challenging, and we have the cross. But I think overall the layout, the cards are pretty even. It's kind of neutral. It sounds like it's a predictable week. There isn't really much special that is going on. Maybe a bit of question marks or a bit of doubts that are brought by the clouds, and maybe some thoughts that come with the cross. But I also have to say, Aquarius, that the cards are they have like a general energy. It feels like this is an inner week where it's more about your inner life and how you feel, what you think, and things like that. So the Rider and Heart points to pursuing things that you love, and the Clover and Cross can be quite lucky, but the Cross can also suggest a decision that needs to be made. So it looks like you need to make some priorities and decide what is it that you are going to work on or pursue for the time being. And I think with the Rider and Heart, we have a pretty good suggestion that you need to prioritize the things that you love and appreciate. Now the Rider with the Lily and Cross, I feel here, Aquarius, it's more about living up to your responsibilities. The Lily is about work and career, but also your life path and your direction. So it sounds like you need to that's in focus, like the things that you're pursuing, especially with the Rider, because it is a goal-oriented card. And the Cross can be a burdensome card. It can be a bit heavy, and so that's why I feel that this is about your responsibilities and doing the things that you need to do. So it sounds like a predictable week in this sense. In the bottom row, we have the Clover, Clouds, and Heart. And the Clouds is a bit of a challenging card. It can bring up doubts, tension, maybe confusion. And it sounds like you could be thinking about what is it you want to do most, what is it you love most, and that would be part of the decision as to what you pursue. The clover is really helpful though, because it is a very bright card, and it can suggest that there's an opportunity through these questions, Aquarius. So make it a point to sit with yourself and ponder the things that you love, that you like, so that you can move forward in this direction. The Rider and Clover is certainly really lucky, and it sounds like you are on the right track. And here is another combination where we see some question marks. So you could be doubting a little bit if what you're pursuing is what you want to do, or maybe you're just facing some challenges in this regard. And the Cross and Heart, I think, really adds to this, Aquarius. I don't think these are just regular challenges. I think they're a bit deeper. They're more about the things that you want, what you want to do. The Cross and Heart is potentially a bit heavy. Sometimes it points to regret, more or less. But I think, again, it is pointing to assessing what you love and deciding what it is you want to do. I also think it's important, Aquarius, that you don't feel like the things that you are doing are things that you are obligated to do. So you want your life path and your career and the things that you do, your projects, to be enjoyable, genuinely enjoyable, not things that you have to do, that you feel obligated to do. So maybe these are the types of questions that come up for you this week, and that's what you are working through. And I have to say that the cards are really internal. They're more about your mind, your heart, how you feel, your priorities. It sounds like a really internalized week, and we're not seeing people, we're not seeing work and the practical things, routine, things like that. So I feel the energies are really on the inner front for you this week, which can be quite an opportunity to tune in and to go within. If they weren't, I think there can be some potential issues with projects or with work. Maybe it's about prioritizing here as well. But again, I feel the inner dimension is really highlighted in these cards, and I think these are what's in focus. So make it a quieter week, Aquarius. Make it a point to go within and to think about the things that you love, that you want, and to assess how you're going to prioritize these things. Let me know what you make of these ideas. As always, I look forward to your thoughts and feedback. Thank you for tuning in. Very best of luck. And until next time, take very good care of yourself. Hello, Pisces. Welcome to your weekly reading. We are doing a 3x2 today with another new deck. These are very lovely cards. This is the Lenormand, and I'll be reviewing it as well, so stay tuned for that. So let's deal out these pretty cards and see what we get for you this week. Okay, Pisces, here is your 3x2, and it's looking really lovely. We have the beautiful star and clover right at the end here on the right-hand side. And these are two wish-fulfilling cards. Each of them are wish-fulfilling cards. So when we see them together, there's all the more this beautiful energy. We have changes happening here. We have the Scythe and Tower, which can be a release, and also with the Lily and Scythe, this is a change. Now, the Book and Star can be a wish fulfilled. It can be very good things happening news-wise, so you get a very positive revelation. They're also great cards for knowledge and enlightenment. And if you do things like write, read, research, and any of these creative areas, then the cards are also lovely for those sorts of projects. The Tower and Clover is also lovely for a long-term goal that materializes, and also for a healing of the past. The Clover is a very lucky card. And also when it comes to things like administration and paperwork, processes, anything legal or admin in this way works out really nice as well. Now in the top row we have the Book with the Lily and Clover. And actually, this is highlighting again the idea of knowledge and learning, and the idea of experience. And we saw that with the star in terms of creativity, and we're seeing it here in terms of the career kind of path. So if you're into writing, researching, teaching, and other creative projects like that, or careers, then this could be really good for you, Pisces, and you can see your goals materialize in this way. The Tower with the Scythe and Star is a beautiful combination for releasing the past and a healing of the past. The Scythe is a card of separation, and with the Tower, it tends to release you from a phase or from a past chapter. And this is especially positive because of the star at the end of the line. So we see a sense of liberation here, where you're able to express or to release yourself in some way or another. I think this works out really nicely with this creativity, the expression, where you could find room to express yourself. The Book and Tower is also a combination of knowledge and learning and a sense of expertise. So maybe you are doing something that builds your expertise in this sense, or maybe you are pursuing a career in these areas, Pisces. It certainly looks great. And of course, there can be some news that comes from the past, or maybe that had been taking time to come through. Like I said, the Lily and Scythe can point to a life change. It can point to changing directions. And it ties into this releasing thing that we see in the bottom line. And the Clover and Star, like we said at the outset, are two very beautiful cards. So this is very much about freedom, liberation, healing, and wish fulfillment. So these are some really exciting cards, Pisces. We've also got the Book, Scythe, and Clover, and this is definitely a breakthrough. There is a revelation that proves to be really lucky for you. And the Tower, Lily, and Stars points to long-term success and achieving long-range goals. So this is a very beautiful set of cards, and I think it goes a little bit beyond the day-to-day, weekly kind of reading. I think that this is more about a bigger ambition that you've got going here, Pisces. You could be pursuing a career in some kind of research, creative venture, writing, reading, etc. And it looks like it works out really nicely. You're also able to release yourself from certain binds, and you could get breakthrough news or insights. And there's like, I feel there's a lot of opening up happening this week. So very, very beautiful cards. I also have to say that the cards are, they're more about your journey, your inner life, who you are. We're not seeing people, jobs, house, family. There's none of that usual day-to-day stuff. It's much more internal. The energies are deeper. And so I think this is more about your journey and your inner journey. Let me know in the comments. Let me know your thoughts about this, about these beautiful cards. I look forward to how you resonated, to know about how you resonated with them. Very best of luck with the week, Pisces. Thank you as always for tuning in. And until next time, take very good care of yourself.